Hello students, you are welcome back to Let's Learn Science. How are you doing everyone? Today in this session we will talk about another most important lesson of class 6 standard science, that is lesson for sorting materials into groups. Before going to discuss about this lesson, it is very important to know the basic difference between materials and objects. Objects are made up of materials. That means materials can make an object, but object cannot make the materials. So this is the basic difference between object and materials. Basically in this lesson we learn about the different properties of the material that are considered while sorting the material into different groups. As well as you also come to know why it is important to sort the material into different groups. And this is the very important question, and we will clarify this question answer in this lesson, why it is important to sort the material into different groups. Generally in our day-to-day life we used to sort the material into different groups so that we can keep the material of similar properties at a particular place. We can keep the similar properties material having the similar property of the material at one particular place, and it also become convenient to study about their various properties. Besides that also, sorting material make our life more organized and orderly. That's why we used to sort the material in our day-to-day life into different groups. Now question is that what are the different properties that has been considered to sort the material into different groups? The different properties that is considered while sorting the material into different groups are appearance. As you know, all the material do not look same. Their appearances is to differ from one another. And second one is the hardness or toughness. Some materials are very hard, or you can say very tough. On the other hand, some materials are very soft. Then on the basis of conductivity, that some material allow the electricity to pass through them. On the other hand, some material do not allow the heat and electricity to pass through them. So on the basis of that conductivity property also, we can sort the material into different groups. Next, solubility. Some material are soluble in water, they used to dissolve in water. On the other hand, there are some material that do not dissolve in water. So on the basis of solubility, material can be divided into two categories, that is soluble material and insoluble material. Next, flotation. Flotation means the property of the material to float on the surface of water. There are some material that is to float on the surface of water, the material which are not heavier than water, that is to float on the surface of water. On the other hand, the material that are heavier than water, that is to sink in the water. So like this, flotation also help in the sorting of material. And last but not least, that is transparency. Transparency means on the basis of light, whether a particular material allow the light to pass through them, or it allow the light to pass through them partially, or whether it doesn't allow the light to pass through them at all. So on the basis of transparency, that is the capacity of a material to allow the light rays to pass through them, material can be categorized into three categories, that is transparent, translucent and opaque. So like this, these are the various properties that are considered while sorting the material into group. As well as we also sort the material into different group on the basis of the raw material by which they are created. By which they are created. So like this way, what happened? We used to categorize the material into different groups to make our work easy, so that whenever need arises, we can find out a material or we can find out a object within a short period of time. It is to save our valuable time. We can easily find out the things which is required for us to carry out different kind of activities. Suppose if you have visited one day along with your mom and dad in the shopping mall. Suppose you have need some musical instrument, your mom needs some grocery, your dad needs some clothes. So what will be the direction of you three people? Your direction will be different in the shopping mall. Why? Because in the shopping mall the different object having the different properties have been sectioned or have been kept in different section in different places. So in that way they used to organize the material so that people can easily find out whatever the different things they need to buy. Is it clear? So now we will study about each and every property of the material in detail, that is the appearance. Material usually look different from each other. As you know, wood looks very different from iron. Iron appears different from copper or aluminum. At the same time, there may be some similarities between iron, copper, aluminum that are not there in wood. Right. So here some example is given that iron appears different from copper and aluminum. Iron is also metal, copper is also a metal, aluminum is also metal, and wood is an example of non-metal. So these all material have different properties. At the same time, there may be some similarities between iron, copper and aluminum because they are metal and they are very hard. They are what? Very hard. But wood that are not similarly hard, similar type of hard compared to that is not similar type of hard, that is not as much hard, that of wood is not as much as hard compared to that of copper, aluminum and iron. So like this way what happen, and their look also not same, they used to look different from each other. So like this way the appearance of each and every material is not same. So this property help in the sorting of material into different groups. Material that we have such luster, then what that is lustrous property. Some material that are very shiny, generally metal are very shiny, but wood is not shiny. Wood doesn't have the lustrous property which the metal have the lustrous property. So on the basis of that also, lustrous and non-lustrous or not lustrous, the material can be categorized into different groups. Next is hardness or toughness. Hardness or toughness. Each and every material is not hard. Some material are very hard, on the other hand some material are very soft. So like this way what happen, on the basis of hardness and softness we can categorize the material into two groups. The material which are very soft we can categorize them into one group. On the other hand the material that are very hard, that we can categorize into another group. Like this way we can categorize them into different group. Here given, when you press different material with your hands, some of them may be hard, as I told you, some of them may be very hard and can be compressed easily, while others can be easily, that is if some material are very hard that cannot be compressed easily. On the other hand, there are some material that are soft and that can be compressed very easily. Suppose given, take a metal key and try to scratch with it. If you take a metal key and if you try to scratch it, then what will happen? The surface of the piece of wood, aluminum, a piece of stone, a nail, candle, chalk, any other material or object, if you take an iron key or you can say metal key and if you scratch that one on the surface of wood, aluminum, a piece of stone or a nail, candle, chalk, any other material or object, what can you see? You can easily scratch some of material, but you cannot scratch on some material, while some cannot be scratched so easily. Suppose on the surface of the chalk and candle you can easily scratch with the help of the metal key, but you cannot scratch easily on the surface of aluminum, a piece of stone, nail, right? Materials which can be compressed or scratched easily are called what? Soft. They are what, which can be, which material cannot be which material can be easily scratched, that are called soft, while some other material which are difficult to compress are called hard. For example, cotton or sponge is soft while iron is very hard. In appearance, material can have different properties like lustrous, hardness, rough or smooth. So on the basis of which property, appearance, material can be what, luster, or may not be luster, it may be very hard, it may be soft, it may be rough, it may be smooth, and on the basis of all these properties, right, we can categorize the material into different groups. Then the next property is soluble or insoluble, that is solubility. As I told you that there are some material that are dissolved in water. On the other hand, there are some material that do not dissolve in water. If you take 1 glass of water and if you add 1 spoon of sugar in it, then what will happen? The sugar will dissolve in water. Again, if you take 1 glass of water and if you try to dissolve 1 spoon of sand in the water, then what will happen? The sand will not dissolve in water. So from this one, what we come to know, sugar is soluble in water but sand is insoluble in water. So the material can be categorized into two categories on the basis of solubility, that is soluble material and insoluble material. Next property is the flotation. Object may float or sink in water. As I told you, there are some material that is to float on the surface of water. If the material is not heavier than the water, then what will happen? It will float on the surface of water, like log of wood, dry leaf, right, plastic. This material can float on the surface of the water. On the other hand, a needle, a piece of iron, this material, what will happen? That will sink into the water because this material are heavier than the water. So like this way, what happen? Flotation also help in the sorting of material into different groups. Next is given transparency. Transparency. This is also one of the most important property of the material which help the material to sort them into different group. Transparency is the property of the material that determine whether through the material the light will pass or not. There are some material that allows the light to pass through them completely, and that type of material are called what, transparent material. What it is called? Transparent. The material that allow the light rays to pass through them completely are termed as what? Transparent material. On the other hand, there are some material that allow the light rays to pass through them but not completely, partially. That is, it allows some light rays to pass through them and some of the light rays cannot pass through them. As for example, a oily patch paper. Through, if you rub the oil on a piece of paper, then what will happen? Through that one, partially the light rays will pass, completely the light rays will not pass. So that type of object or that type of material are called what, translucent object. What it is called? Translucent object. Translucent object. Again, there are some material. If you consider a book, if you consider the example of a brick, if you consider the example of piece of wood, through this object what will happen? Through this material what will happen? The light rays cannot pass at all through them. So that type of object are called what, opaque object. What object? Opaque object. The material that do not allow the light to pass through them are called opaque. So on the basis of transparency, material can be categorized into three categories, that is transparent, translucent and opaque. And what are this material? I have given you the example also. I hope you can easily write those example. So these are the different properties on the basis of what material is used to categorize into different category in order to make our work easy, in order to save our valuable time, in order to make our life more organized and orderly. Beside that also some other property also there, as for example I have told you conductivity. There are some material that allow the electric current as well as heat to pass through them. For example, metal. All metal have the capacity to pass the electricity and heat through them. So they are called also what conductor. What they are called? Conductor. The material through which heat and electricity can pass are called conductor. On the other hand, there are some material, as for example plastics, through which what happen, electric current as well as heat cannot pass. So those material are termed as what insulator. So like this way what happen, conductivity also help in sorting the material into different groups. So this is all about this lesson. In this lesson, as I told you, let me summarize you what we have learned in this lesson. Basically we have learned in this lesson why we have to sort the material into different group, what is the importance of sorting material into different groups. It is very important because so that we can save our time. Whenever a particular thing is needed, then we can easily find out that one and we can carry out our activities. It is also important so that we can keep the material having the similar properties at a particular place. It becomes convenient to study about the various properties of the material. That's why what happens, sorting of material into group is important in our day-to-day life. And what are the different properties on which, on the basis of that we used to sort the material into group, and those properties are appearance, hardness, conductivity, solubility, flotation and transparency. So on the basis of these properties of the material, we used to categorize them into different category. So in my later session I will discuss the question and answer of this lesson. I hope you understood in a proper way, and beside that also if you have any doubt and confusion, then please comment me in my comment section. And if you like the video, then please don't forget to comment, subscribe and share. Thank you.